Hope you're having an enjoyable Sunday, and we're glad you're spending part of it with us for a little college baseball on the SEC Network. The Auburn Tigers are in College Station, and they are looking for a sweep of the homestanding Texas A&M Aggies in this top 10 weekend series. Both these teams have their sights set on an SEC championship, but they're both looking up at the Georgia Bulldogs right now. Georgia, I don't know if anybody's going to gain any ground on them this weekend because they are about to complete a sweep of Missouri. But Texas A&M and Auburn, both in the top 5 in the Southeastern Conference standings. Hello to you all. I'm Will Johnson. I'm with Wyatt Hensler. And Wyatt, yesterday, Auburn comes in here, road series. It's a doubleheader, and they impressively take both games.
That's right. They swept the doubleheader. Bats are hot, and pitching continues to carry them through. Impressive showing from the Tigers.
Yeah, and they cooled off that Texas A&M offense. The Aggies had won 5 series in a row, and they were swinging the bat so well in them. But the doubleheader yesterday with the Aggies dropping both of them, not quite the same success against a really good Auburn pitching staff. The power was provided by the Auburn Tigers, so Wyatt, they were able to leave the yard quite a bit in the doubleheader sweep.
Yeah, take a look right here. I mean, led by Freilich with 3 yesterday. This team's got 23 home runs in the last 9 games compared to just 6 in the first 15. The bats are unbelievably hot right now. Let's see if the Aggies can slow them down today.
So it was 18-5 Auburn, and then they followed it up with a 5-4 victory. And they're hoping to bring the brooms on the road with them here to Bluebell Park. Chase Freilich, the 3 home runs all told in the 2 games yesterday. He will hit 3rd. He's followed in the Tiger lineup by Mason McCrane and Eric Guevara, both hot hitters. A&M needs a good start on the mound. Auburn has touched up both A&M starters this weekend. But Wyatt, the Aggies will rely on Weston Moss to get them deep into this Sunday game.
That's right, and for Weston, the big thing's going to be that changeup. That's his best pitch, his go-to pitch to both sides of the plate. It's going to be a big for him to be able to land that pitch early in counts and be able to put it away.
All right, a gorgeous Sunday with nothing but blue skies above us. It's getting late in the regular season. As we like to say this time of year, something rides on every pitch, and it certainly does here today with the Aggies and Tigers, and Weston Moss delivers the first offering for a strike to Mason McCrane. Check swing, and it looked like he went around, so McCrane quickly down in the count. No balls and 2 strikes.
Great pitch from Moss there. That's that changeup right there, working the other side of the plate. It's going to be great against lefties, but when Weston's at his best, he's using against righties too. Let's see what he goes here on the 0-2 count.
Just off the corner. A ball and 2 strikes. And away again to create a 2-2 count. The Aggies with that 2-strike shift on. They leave third base vacated.
See if McCrane can really stay on the other side of the field on this changeup here. Yeah, they're really leaning on that one early. Like I said, it's his best pitch. Good adjustment from McCrane, being able to spin on that after a chase early.
So the count has gone from 0-2 to 3-2, full. McCrane fouled that away.
Good spoil there.
Weston Moss had some bumps in the road throughout SEC play, and they switched him to Sunday in the rotation, essentially. And in his 2 Sunday starts, he's been really good.
Yeah, I think it's a great move, and we're seeing him on Sundays, but there's always the chance to use him early in the games, early in the series. Great pitch there.
Got him on the inner half. A little breaker, and he strikes out Mason McCrane to start his day.
Went to the breaking ball here, hadn't used that one yet, just froze him up. Had really been relying on the fastball changeup mix of McCrane and saved that one for the end. Great pitch there from Weston.
So he gets the first man he sees. Now Weston Moss against the Tiger third baseman Eric Guevara. Guevara is the reigning SEC Player of the Week. Had 9 hits last week and helped Auburn to a series win over Oklahoma with some of those base knocks.
Not sure we'll find a better third base on third base matchup here.
Yeah, because the Aggies have Gavin Grahovac over at third base today after an injury yesterday to Nico Partita. That's a fly to right off the bat of Guevara, and Jorian Wilson gets there. 2 down.
I'll tell you what, Guevara's been put some really good swings on the ball this weekend. Keeps seeming to hit it right at people. I mean, that's an awesome swing. That's one of those you're heading back to the dugout a little frustrated, it didn't drop, but you can't be mad, you did everything right.
2 up, 2 down, and here's Chase Fralick, the 3 homers yesterday. Has Fralick up to 12 homers on the year. And if you look at the last 6 games, that's a guy hitting a ton.
Yeah, that's the guy you're penciling in the lineup today. Don't let this guy beat me. Hard not to, though. I mean, hitting 500 over these last few games.
Fralick has homered in 5 consecutive games. The first Auburn Tiger to do that since 1985. Swinging and down in the count, 1-2.
Weston's pounding the zone early. Really good setup. I think this is where Fralick's been really good this weekend too, just working in the counts. Seems really comfortable even with 2 strikes. Let's see if he can keep using the other side of the field like he's been doing all weekend.
Got him looking. Some big pitches in the top of the first for Weston Moss. He struck out McCrane. Then after the flyout by Guevara, he strikes out Chase Fralick, who's been red hot this week. 3 up, 3 down for Moss in the top of 1. Auburn looking for a rare road sweep, and they have really relied on their pitching. First in the nation in whip and strikeout to walk ratio. And they have come in here and cooled some A&M bats. The Aggies hot offensively, but yesterday the Tigers got good performances, and now they go to Alex Petrovic to close out the series, a Texas native from Cypress, just down the road, about an hour from College Station.
We've obviously highlighted the Auburn offense a whole lot, but I mean, this pitching staff is as impressive as it gets. Easily a top 2 pitching staff in the country right now.
When you go with a Sunday guy who's got a whip below 1 and an opponent's batting average below 200 against him, that's pretty good stuff from your rotation.
Sure is.
A lot of power at the top of the A&M lineup. Gavin Grahovac and Caden Sorrell in there. A&M without Nico Partita yesterday. Yesterday, Partita injured in the second game of the doubleheader, had to leave his spot at third base. So he does not play today. Grahovac had to go over to third base. Grahovac had been playing first base all season long, but last year and for much of his career, he's been a third baseman, so Grahovac has to switch corners again with the injury to Partita. And
yeah, the lineup's going to be a little bit different today. We're going to need some different guys to step up if you're the Aggies. Blake Binderup has shown some of that this year. Let's see if he can step in today and do that. And it's still going to take guys at the top like Gavin and Sorrell doing their thing. And I mean, they're as impressive it gets when you look across college baseball at household names.
Yeah, with Grahovac going from first to third base, it's Blake Binderup at first base hitting 7th in this lineup today.
Binderup's time may have been a little bit all over the place in terms of when he's got opportunities with how deep this lineup is, but I tell you what, he's really taken advantage of it.
That's a nice start swinging the bat for Gavin Grahovac. He's got extra bases right away. Yesterday, Grahovac lost an 18-game hit streak. Went 0 in the second game of the doubleheader, and an 18-game hit streak went by the boards. That's one way to start up a new one.
I'll tell you what, 110 for a double down the line. That ball was absolutely smoked by Gavin. Easy double for the Aggie third baseman today. I like saying that. I like seeing him back at third base.
Well, when you were with the Aggies last year, when Grahovac was injured, you had to go take his spot at third base. You had to go across the diamond from second to third.
Yeah, I tried second base for a little bit, but just got to do what the team wants you to do and do whatever you can to help get wins. And Gavin's incredible at that, asking him to make a move to first base. I mean, he's made it look as seamless as it possibly gets.
Oh, he has been terrific over there.
Bounced right back over third, made a nice play at the end of the game.
Yeah, got a hot shot yesterday on a short hop, and it looked like he'd been playing there all season long.
That's right.
Caden Sorrell, it's Grahovac and Sorrell that provide so much power at the top of that A&M lineup, and now it's Caden Sorrell at the plate. Hit a no-doubt home run yesterday for his 21st of the year.
As pretty as a left-handed swing as I've ever seen. Well, I mean, this is an awesome setup at the plate. Super simple, super athletic. Also an elite competitor, one of the most clutch players I've ever had the chance to play with. And an RBI machine, as we're seeing right here. 17 games with 2+ RBIs, the most in the SEC. Like we said, as a complete hitter as it gets.
And he's got a good count here for himself, 3-1.
I doubt they give him much to see here, Will, with the base open. Right on left matchup here.
Skied it very high over the infield. Guevara. Eric Guevara calling for it. He'll make the catch.
Yeah, 3-1 changeup here. Over the heart of the plate, but good change of speed. Sorrell gets a little out in front, just clips in the infield.
So with one out, it's Chris Hakopian coming to the plate. The Maryland transfer, one of the most sought-after players in the transfer portal, has provided some good stuff for the Aggies. Grahovac's breaking for third base.
Safe.
No one was covering over there for a while. Throw was in the dirt. It was picked by Guevara, but he couldn't make the tag on Grahovac. Perhaps he caught the Tigers sleeping just a bit on the infield here.
Yeah, it looks like Gavin saw
challenging the call at third base.
Auburn will challenge this.
Yeah, Gavin sees an opportunity here. Looks like he has a repeat on our pitcher here. Looks like he's got into a similar cadence. Tries to jump the count there. Changes the sequence on him. Tries to make a throw third base, but still gets in there. Draws a bad throw. Now he's standing on third.
He was past halfway to third before the Tigers recognized that he was breaking. And Guevara, the third baseman covering, got there late. And the other thing is the throw was in the dirt. If Guevara doesn't pick that, it's going to the wall, and Gavin Grahovac's heading home.
That's right. It was a good play by him there. I think he's in there, Will. Looked like it from our view, too.
Here's a good look at it. Slowed down. The tag is high. And I agree. I think Grahovac is in there. Now the front foot comes off the base, but I think it's as the back foot arrives. So technically, I don't know if Grahovac was ever off the bag.
Yeah, this is one of the things that I remember working on a lot when I was here at A&M, is really trying to work on those secondary leads at second base, and that's a big thing that Coach Cliff Pennington and Mike Early really stresses. Staying in those pitches and learning and taking notes on the sequence and the cadence of when the pitcher's going. Petrovic here was going on a pretty similar tempo, it looked like, for the first few pitches, and Gavin picked up on it. Fooled him a little bit, but made its way to third. I think he's going to stand. I think he's going to be there at third.
Yeah, we got good looks at it, and I think that is very tough to overturn. Umpiring crew today, home plate behind the dish is Kevin Sweeney, then Clint Fagan at first base, Jason Bradley at second, and Steve Mattingly at third base. That's your crew. We still await word on the review. See, that front foot is in time. Well, now it's a question of, did the front foot come off and the glove stay on him before the back foot arrived? It looked pretty simultaneous to me.
After replay, the call on the field is safe. Auburn has one challenge remaining.
And the more looks you had at it, it became closer and closer on if he was off the bag, but I just don't know if there was not enough there to overturn that call.
Absolutely. From our view, it looked like he was just in there all the time. You see his foot pick up a little bit, but like you said, well, I just don't think there's enough to overturn that call. Big opportunity here for Chris Hakopian to put a ball in play and score a run, put the Aggies up 1-0.
So Grahovac 90 feet away and stung pretty well by Hakopian. This will get a run home. He one-hopped it at Brandon McCrane, the shortstop. McCrane to first to get Hakopian, but he does drive in Grahovac.
Good team offense there, Will. One of the big things stressed in that dugout is when there's an opportunity with the infield back, guy on third base, let's get a ball in play early in the count. The only thing that can hurt you in that situation is a strikeout. Chris Hakopian, not one of your guys you're expecting to strike out, and does a great job putting the ball in play, hits the ball hard. Aggies up 1-0.
Well, that's a start for the Aggies. Yesterday in the doubleheader in game one, they fell behind 6-0 early, and then found themselves down by as much as 5-0 in the early innings of the second game of the doubleheader. It's a good visual, if anything, for the Aggies to get out to the lead here today.
Absolutely, and doubleheaders are hard. Well, when a team has momentum to start that day, it's really easy to carry that right into the next game, and Auburn did that.
Jake Dewar, the hitter, had a 2-0 count. Petrovic fired him a strike, 2-1. Bodes well for the Aggies when they strike first. 24-2 this year when they get on the board first. Dewar goes the other way, waiting on it. Bub Terrell, and they'll make the catch, and that'll end the inning. But the Aggies will get the first run of the game on the ground out by Hakopian that scored Grahovac. Here's yesterday, Auburn sweeping the doubleheader. They scored their most runs in a game this season to get game one. They run-ruled the Aggies in 7 innings in that first game. But give the Aggies credit for coming back in game two. They fell behind 5-0 in the second game of the doubleheader. Almost came all the way back. The Aggies were threatening in the bottom of the 9th inning to tie or walk off Auburn. But Auburn would win it 5-4. And in the process, it had been A&M who had won 5 consecutive SEC series. The Aggies will see that streak stop, and at the same time, Auburn clinched their 5th straight win in an SEC series. So both these teams have been on fire as of late.
Yeah, it's an awesome baseball matchup with some great weather outside of Friday. I mean, a beautiful day at the ballpark the last 2 days.
We're comfortably at about 75 degrees now, mostly blue skies above us.
Wind isn't hurting anything here at Blue Bell today. I'm sure we'll see a couple homers, especially with these lineups. We got some potent offenses out here today. Well,
yeah, and they were. A&M actually hit 4 home runs themselves yesterday, 2 of them by Gavin Verhoeven. So there was a total of 10 long balls in the doubleheader. Chris Rembert at the plate. Rembert, one of the top prospects for the upcoming 2026 MLB draft.
Really similar makeups with both second basemen here, or at least the everyday second baseman of Chris Akopian.
Rembert here will sky into the glove of Jorian Wilson.
Both our second basemen here, Chris Akopian and Rembert, just really outstanding bat-to-ball skills, really low chase rates. It's exactly what pro scouts are looking for.
That's why Hakopian has the same distinction as Rembert, one of the top prospects in the upcoming
Absolutely.
MLB draft.
Absolutely. When they swing, they hit the ball. It sounds simple, but finding guys with low swing and miss is exactly what scouts are looking for and trying to get in their system to be able to move up to the big leagues.
So with 1 out, Ethan Bingaman hits.
Bingaman with a big home run yesterday. Towering homer, if I believe.
Yeah. 40 degrees on the launch angle.
That's as high as you're going to see.
Went straight up and came right down over the left field wall. But Auburn has in their lineup today the reigning SEC Player of the Week in Guevara and the reigning SEC Freshman of the Week in Bingaman. Last week, Bingaman went 8 for 16 with 4 homers. And again, that was all part of that series win over Oklahoma for the Tigers. Bingaman chops left side of the infield here. Verhoeven back over at third base. Fields and throws on the run.
Back like he never left. Great play by number 9 over there.
Butch Thompson is the head coach of the Tigers.
Coach Thompson and Coach Nonamaker have done an awesome job at Auburn. Have been together for a while there and seen a lot of success. Actually had the chance to spend some time with them during the recruiting process, and really, really good people. They do a great job bringing the right guys in.
Butch
Success
Thompson,
year after year.
Butch Thompson hung his hat on pitching for years and would stand to reason as the head coach of Auburn this year, one of the best pitching staffs in the country.
Absolutely.
Bub Terrell. That caught the corner. Did Weston Moss on Terrell. He's got him down in the count 0-2.
We've sure been seeing a lot of shift from the Aggies, mostly on the left-handed hitters. See if we can use the other side of the field here.
Weston Moss has cruised through a couple of innings. He has struck out 3 of the 6 Tigers he's faced. Mike Early in his second season as the Texas A&M head coach, and he and the Aggies thinking about hanging around Bluebell Park for a while. Got a chance to host as a top 16 national seed, also possibly a top 8 national seed, which means you would host a super regional as well should you get there. Butch Thompson and the Auburn Tigers, they're thinking about the exact same things, Wyatt. They could be a top 16 national seed. They could be a top 8 national seed. If you're Mike Early, if you're Butch Thompson, you're trying to get as much of the NCAA postseason as possible in your house, and both feel like they're poised to do it.
Absolutely, and both have a great home field advantage. The Plains in Auburn is one of the best stadiums in college baseball. Maybe a little biased, Will, but I think this is a great spot too. So both teams still got a lot of baseball ahead of them with some really tough matchups coming up. I know the Aggies will be at Ole Miss. They got Mississippi State at home. Auburn will be heading to Mississippi State next weekend, so a lot of tough matchups coming up, and that's just the SEC, like we talked about, Will. It's as deep as it's ever been.
A good closing stretch, and certainly for these Aggies and Tigers, both in the top 5 in the SEC standings, both in the top 10 in the RPI. Also, as you can see, A&M 7th in the D1 baseball poll, Auburn 8th. So however you want to mark it, however you want to track it, these are two teams trending toward hosting in the postseason. Hot hitting Bear Harrison at the plate. Been on base
as
17
games
games
of the season
in a row, yeah.
as I've ever seen. I mean, Bear started out a little slow with the hits, but I mean, that guy finds a way on base. Leading the team in hit by pitches. His walks are extremely high. At one point coming this weekend, he was top 5 in the SEC in OPS. And maybe not a lot of people know that, but also helping out a big staff behind the plate. Him and Freilich just been unbelievable backstops for both these teams.
Coming in on the run and making the play, Eric Guevara. Jorian Wilson stepping in from the left side with that big freshman frame.
This is as physical as a freshman as I've ever seen. And I thought Gavin Grahovac was a physical freshman. And he is. That's no disrespect to Gavin. Jorian Wilson standing at 6'4", 240. With one of the prettier lefty swings.
Yeah, and he hit another homer yesterday, 12 for his freshman year. He went opposite field to get that latest homer. I think that's what impresses me about him. I mean, you get a guy 240 in the box there. You would figure he could pull a ball out of here in a hurry and hit some monsters to the pull side, but his ability to just smoothly go opposite field and easily get a ball out that way too.
Absolutely.
I mean, that is impressive stuff. And we've mentioned it before, he's only 17 years old, but he strikes out here against Alex Petrovic.
Yeah, good pitch from Petrovic there. Back-to-back fastballs just got him by Wilson. Yeah, just a little tardy on the first two there. And then right to that one as well. Kind of saw on that foul ball back right by Binderup. Just a little late. Petrovic gets one by him.
And that's Petrovic's first strikeout against an Aggie hitter. 2 down in the bottom of the second. Blake Binderup.
Change-up first pitch there. Interesting sequence there. Gets ahead 0-1. Like we said, Binderup in some limited time, still hitting .321 with 6 home runs. When he gets his chances, he's taking advantage and really stepping up for the Aggies. It's going to be a big day for him to be able to do that again.
Binderup making his 14th start. Like you said, when he finds his pitch, he can hit it a mile.
Can't say enough about Benny, too. I got to share the locker room with him, and such an unbelievable teammate. I know that his time has come up and down, especially this year, but he continues to stay positive. He's such a good teammate, great guy to have in the dugout. And when he gets his chances, like we said, he's taking advantage of them. He's really helped the Aggies continue to pump out wins, especially early in that middle of the season when there were some injuries. So, like I said, can't say enough about number 46 here.
Breaking ball by Petrovic, and he struck him out swinging. Good inning for Alex Petrovic. 3 up, 3 down. and 2 of those were strikeouts. His first 2 Ks of the game, he struck out Jorian Wilson and then ends the inning with a strikeout of Blake Benderup. Weston Moss, since that change in roles, he was the Saturday guy. Those are the first 4 starts in SEC play. Had an ERA of over 8. Now the last 3 starts have come in a Sunday role, and if you include the first 2 innings here today, in those last 3 starts, he's got an ERA of under 1.
Yeah, Weston's been doing a whole lot better over these last 3. And I think just such a simple move by the Aggie coaching staff, Jason Kelly and Mike Early, and switching some things up. I think it's given them the option, too, without naming the Sunday starter each weekend, having the option to use Weston during the weekend if you need him. If you go back to last year, you know, Weston was the best bullpen guy for us and really propelled our season to give us a chance at the end of the year. So it gives you that flexibility.
Because, yeah, it's not as if Weston Moss has been listed on Sunday these last 2 weeks. It's TBA. That's what goes in the press release on Sunday for the Aggies, but both times that TBA has turned into Weston Moss, and he's pitched brilliantly, and that's the same thing here again this weekend. That's a strikeout, but it's going to be a base runner, first base runner of the game for Auburn, because it got away. That's a rarity. Bear Harrison, one of the best backstops in the entire country, doesn't really let anything by him. A&M rarely throws a wild pitch. Bear Harrison rarely allows a pass ball. But a swinging strikeout here by Brandon McCrane. He will not be an out. He'll run at first base because it got away.
Yeah, good pitch from Weston there. Good changeup. Just snuck off Bear Harrison's foot.
So a tough break for the Aggies, and Eddie Madrigal hits with the lead man aboard in the top of 3 for the Tigers. Madrigal hitting in the 8 hole. He's followed by number 9 in the lineup, Bristol Carter, and then you go back to the top of the Auburn order. Swinging.
And what a difference this half inning looks like when you have a strikeout that then turns into a guy on first base with no outs.
And it looked like, at the time, the 7th straight out for Weston Moss to start this game. But yes, the complexion indeed changes.
Look for Weston to continue to rely on that changeup against left-handed hitters. He's really been delivering it really well, keeping it down at the bottom of the zone. That's what you want. Down the bottom of the zone right there with a changeup. You're looking at a strikeout or a ground out, that's ideal.
McCrane is going, got a good jump, and he's now 14 out of 15 on his stolen base attempts this year. Gets to second base. He's one of the Tigers who can run. He's only been caught once, and that's his 14th swipe.
Yeah, great jump here. There's not a lot Bear Harrison can do here. In there pretty easy with a stolen base.
And then it's outside to Madrigal, so it's 2-2.
Like we said, that pass ball there, that wild pitch, then turns into a stolen base, and now, you know, you give the Auburn Tigers a chance to get him over with 1 out and score a run.
just missed in, so you have a full count now.
Magical here, really trying to produce some team offense. For the Auburn Tigers, you're really stressing, trying to get this runner over to third base. Especially with the top of the lineup looming.
Chopped away, so stick with the full count.
Weston continues to pound the strike zone. He's been all around it. No blemishes other than the wild pitch, which I'm sure Bear Harrison would want back.
Struck up the middle, diving effort. Caden Sorrell takes it off the turf.
What a grab. Such a good jump from Caden Sorrell here. Just a dying jam shot to center field. Look at that jump. Perfect read from number 1-3. Let's go. What a grab.
Mike Early has said because Caden Sorrell is so good offensively, his glove gets overlooked.
It sure does. I mean, you can look back at his highlight tape. I mean, the Aggies call him Super Sorrell for a reason. Some of these diving catches he's made, some of the robbed home runs.
He can get into the gap, get up against the wall.
Absolutely. He's a complete player. He's a five-tool player for sure, and that's why draft scouts are all over him. Aggie fans have enjoyed watching him play here, I'll tell you that.
Going again, trying to get to third base. Got him. Bear Harrison quickly gets that over to Gavin Grahovac to catch Brandon McCrane. McCrane not leaving the bag as of yet. Auburn, I think, is contemplating a challenge.
Yeah, I would imagine they take a look at this. Auburn electing to go with another one here. 2 in the first 2 innings.
All at third base. Both
All at
of
third
them.
base on tag plays.
Auburn lost a challenge earlier on a tag play against A&M going to third base. It was Gavin Grahovac that got into third base safely. Auburn lost that challenge. Now you have an out call of McCrane, Brandon McCrane here at third base. They're challenging that. I think the tag is there in time. Right on the chest of McCrane before he got the right hand to the bag.
This is going to be the view here. Let's take a look. Still not getting a good view of it. Oh, he's off the base there too. Obviously, we have a few less angles than what our umpire's looking at. Man, it feels like the last one too. I don't know if there's enough to overturn it.
I think I'm with you. The question is, did Gavin Grahovac tag the chest there? Did he get the chest? You don't know that he didn't.
After replay, the call in the field is out. Auburn has 0 challenges remaining.
Tell you what, both challenges having Gavin Grahovac doing some swim moves for the Aggies.
Yeah, he was sliding in on the first challenge. He's making the tag on the second challenge. Regardless, Auburn 0 for 2 in 2 innings. That's it for their challenges the remainder of the day.
The Aggie coaching staff's a little fired up right here. It seems like there was some miscommunication on the count.
Bristol Carter, center field. Sorrell, complexion of that inning changed very quickly on the out call at third base. And the Aggies take the 1-0 lead to the bottom of the third.
real fun. Just getting started.
Run straight for the breakaway.
The celebration is on.
Everybody's trying to get to the heartland, Omaha, Nebraska. And there's some teams whose path is going to start at home. The top 16 national seeds will play at home for the regionals. If you're a top 8 national seed and you win a regional, you're also going to be at home for the Supers. And right now, both of our teams, the Texas A&M Aggies and the Auburn Tigers, project as top 8 national seeds in the latest D1 baseball field of 64. Auburn has only helped that cause by winning this series already this weekend. A&M chances, they've taken a bit of a dent, but right now you probably would say the Aggies would be a top 8 national seed, even with the rough result yesterday. For the Aggies, it would be about holding serve for the remainder of the regular season. Easier said than done, as Wyatt referenced earlier. Aggies go to Ole Miss next weekend, and then they host Mississippi State in the final regular season series.
Yep, and Coach Thompson highlighted too for the Auburn Tigers. They're coming into Bluebell this weekend and getting a series win, and then they head to Mississippi State, two of the most hostile environments in college baseball. So
Travis Chestnut, that's going to be a tough play because of Chestnut's speed, and that is a nice job by Alex Petrovic getting over and covering.
that PFP is a lot easier said than done with Chestnut speed. This is something you practice. A great play by Petrovic to get over there in time. Times it up great. Great feed by Renbert. Tell you what, Kellner's done an unbelievable job in the 9-hole getting on base and setting the tone for the top of this lineup. Gives Gavin Grahovac so much more opportunity as the leadoff hitter, having guys like Kellner getting on base for him.
Yeah, and to do it as a true freshman.
So much poise at the plate. We got to spend some time with him. Such a good makeup for a freshman. He's so much wiser beyond his years. And that's what you need at shortstop. If you're going to come into the SEC as a freshman, I can't imagine what that's like. And he's done such a good job playing shortstop, manning that infield and setting the tone at the bottom of the lineup, getting it ready for guys like Gavin and Sorrell right behind him.
Yeah, to come in your first year of college baseball, they name you an everyday starter, and you can count on one hand the amount of those games in which he didn't reach base.
Absolutely. And you're going to go through your parts this season where, you know, hits aren't falling, you're struggling to see it, but one thing you can say about Kellner is he swings at strikes and he takes his walks, and that's something that outlasts any slump. And that's something that he's continuing to work on, and one of the big things that the Aggies preach are those swing decisions, and it's important, especially when you're facing guys like Petrovic and this Auburn staff that's got such a great staff with so much stuff in the bullpen.
Behind home plate, but it's going to stay in play for Chase Freilich, and he'll make the catch.
See if the top of the lineup can get something going here with 2 outs. We've highlighted this guy a whole lot already today, but just been all over the barrel, making great plays on defense. One of the best players in college baseball and a future first-round pick.
2 home runs yesterday for Gavin Grahovac, a double to start today, and he hit another laser down the third base line. That one goes foul off the bag. That's where the double went earlier, down the left field line. A shot that stayed fair. We told you, Gavin Grahovac, he lost the 18-game hit streak yesterday. And it wasn't just a hit streak. There was so much power that came with it. He had 14 home runs during that 18-game hit streak.
I mean, that's unbelievable. And he might have just done it again.
Oh, he crushed that, but it will hook foul, and he got all over that. I mean, that's 3 pitches today that he has drilled down that line.
Yeah, I got a little breaking ball again there. Smashed it just a little out in front. This guy's swinging a confident bat. I mean, 14 home runs in 18 games is unheard of. That's not normal, Will. That's impressive.
Well, if you're Petrovic, do you all of a sudden do something different? You get that visual of him just tagging 3 of my offerings down the left field line. Does that change anything that Petrovic does against him?
I mean, he's going to be a little on edge. You know, you can tell the guys all over it. I mean, everyone knows who Gavin is. You know, that's part of it, too.
He was well aware before,
absolutely,
before those swings.
Absolutely.
Yeah. Well, he went outside corner to get him looking, and that will end the inning.
Great job getting back in that count. Clearly he wasn't phased.
Up here in the suite and press level of Bluebell Park today, there's a couple of Penn grads. One of them is that man, Mike Elko, the head football coach here at Texas A&M. He won an Ivy League championship with the Quakers when he was a safety in their football program in the late 90s. The other Penn grad's up here with me, Wyatt Hensler.
Shoot, a whole lot cooler in the booth over here is Wyatt Hensler, but the cool Penn grad's over there. Head football coach Mike Elko, such a good dude. What a great job he's done with the Aggie football team.
Playoffs last year.
Absolutely. He's got a son playing some ball over at Richmond, too.
Yeah, playing
he likes
well.
some baseball.
Yeah, I understand playing well for the Richmond Spiders. Mike Elko's son. Pop out there by Mason McCrane to get it started in the top of the 4th. And it's a little interesting. I mean, Wyatt, you played for the Aggies last year, but during the Penn portion of your college baseball career, you had your moments against both the A&M Aggies and the Auburn Tigers.
That's correct. The Penn Quakers actually had a pretty good record against the Aggies and the Tigers. One of the coolest moments I can look back on my time there before coming here was playing both these teams. One of them in a regional, got to go play in Auburn, and what a beautiful campus. Awesome atmosphere. Such a great fan base on both sides.
And they've made some renovations to Plainsman Park here recently, and this year the atmosphere has just been incredible.
It's been incredible.
Obviously,
one of the
they're
coolest
playing a lot
things.
of winning baseball right now. That helps.
Winning does cure everything, you know. It brings fans in, your culture's good, everything. But I'll tell you what, they got a beautiful setup there, and the new renovation looks incredible. I haven't gotten to see it in person yet, but one of the coolest things there is all the fans that stand up on the parking deck.
Yeah.
I know we were talking about that earlier.
This is off the hands of Guevara, and that's easy on the right side of the infield for Blake Benderup. One thing I've always liked about Plainsman Park as well, you mentioned it, the parking garage, left field side, third base side, a lot of folks watching it, but it's right across the street from Auburn's football stadium, Jordan-Hare, and it always looks like Jordan-Hare rises high on that left side and kind of spies on you.
Absolutely.
During games.
Absolutely.
Creates a great look down that third base side. This is high in the air. Caden Sorrell coming in. This is off the bat of Chase Freilich, and my goodness, Weston Moss got to go against the top 3 of the order there for Auburn, and he sits him down quite easily. Mike Early was the Aggies hitting coach for 3 years before becoming the head man here in College Station. Missed the postseason last year, but poised to get there and possibly even host quite a bit of the postseason this year. Injuries to Caden Sorrell and Gavin Grahovac were costly a season ago, but you get them healthy, and they obviously mean so much to the Aggies in 2026, projected as the number 5 national seed during the release this week from D1 baseball. Texas A&M trying to get as much of that postseason as possible here to Bluebell Park, a regional and super regional. Caden Sorrell leads off the bottom of the 4th, and we talked about the health of him and Gavin Grahovac. I think about this too, Wyatt. You played with both Sorrell and Gavin last year. You were on a team that dealt with their injuries. Gavin Grahovac missing most of the year. Caden Sorrell missing about half the year. But the other thing is you also were here last year when Jace Laviolette broke the A&M school record for career homers. Ended with 68. I wonder where the chase would be with Sorrell and Grahovac. Would they be chasing Jace 1 year later if they both had fully healthy seasons last year?
That's a great point, Will, and I find it hard to imagine they're not.
That's a swing and a miss by Sorrell, and he's a strikeout victim against Petrovic. 1 down, bottom of the 4th.
Petrovic continues to just pound the zone and make a great pitch mix. Breaking ball here, change up to Sorrell. He gets the chase.
Petrovic has 4 strikeouts now, and true to form, he has not walked an Aggie hitter. Auburn, they pound the strike zone, maybe the best in the nation at it. They've only walked 6 hitters all weekend. They got a complete game effort from Andres Alvarez yesterday in the run-ruled win, and in 7 innings, Alvarez struck out 11 and did not walk an Aggie hitter.
And such a tough matchup for the Aggie lineup with that too. A team that takes a ton of walks and enjoys taking its walks, especially at home with the ball 5 chant.
Yeah.
You know, it's a team that prides itself on being patient at the plate, but Auburn just continues to match that.
Right behind the bag, Guevara will throw out Chris Akopian. Quickly 2 down. Yeah, both these teams, one thing you always look at in these tournament resumes as far as who's going to host, who's going to get a top 16, who's going to get a top 8 national seed. What are you in your big games, the quad 1 games? And both these teams just fine. Auburn 11-10 against the quad 1 competition, and the Aggies 11-9. And that's the great thing about the SEC, that quad 1 competition. You're going to get plenty of it.
Absolutely.
In this league.
And both teams have really similar resumes. I mean, the difference now moving forward is Auburn's going to have the head-to-head. And their strength of schedule is a little tougher, but by the end of a SEC schedule, those are all going to even out. And both teams are going to end up on the better side of things from a competitive weekend like this, especially if the Aggies are able to come out with a Sunday salvage win. The big thing that they preach in the SEC is you're going to lose series. You're going to lose series at home. You're going to lose on the road. But limiting sweeps is how you make it into the postseason, and you get that magic number 13 to get into the postseason. And you know, you're really trying to get to 16, 17, 18 to be able to host.
Jake Dewar trying to land that in center field, but Bristol Carter won't let him do it. Carter got on his wheels and got the glove to the ball into the 4th.
Best conference tournament all of college baseball.
Run straight for the breakaway.
Let's get to Hoover. Heading to Hoover at the end of the regular season. Here's the race atop the Southeastern Conference. Georgia, if you're the Aggies, the Longhorns, the Mississippi State Bulldogs, the Auburn Tigers, you got no help from Georgia this weekend. They ended up sweeping Missouri. They finished off that sweep today in Athens. So Georgia 18-6 in conference play. Right now, 3 games clear of the closest competition, Texas A&M and Texas. Georgia's going to host LSU next weekend.
That Georgia-Auburn game will be really competitive as well. I mean, Georgia, we had the chance to call that game together, well, a few weeks ago, and just another really, really tough opponent. Really good pitching, sound pitching, and best long ball hitting team in the country. Continue to get wins.
And the other thing, why we talk about all this positioning with the Aggies and the Tigers, and most of what we've discussed deals with the NCAA tournament. But A&M and Auburn both could finish in the top 4 of the SEC standings, which means they get buys, double buys, in the SEC tournament bracket in Hoover once you get there. So top 4 teams will get those double buys. A&M poised to get it. Auburn's got their shot to go finish in the top 4.
Absolutely, and that's huge for that weekend. And nice easy play for Gavin there. Slings it across. Going back to Hoover, I mean, what a cool series and week that is, following along. I mean, was fortunate enough to get the chance to play there and do that last year. If I was a local kid, I would be there all week if I could. What a cool chance to be able to see players.
You'd be out there on that grass berm with those kids getting every foul ball imaginable.
Oh my gosh, running everyone over, trying to get those. My parents probably yelling at me to come back and settle down. I mean, such a cool event they put on there. If you're a fan of any kind, you need to make sure you hop over there and take a look at what's going on over there in Hoover, Alabama.
I just envision a parent dropping those young kids off at about 9 a.m. with a few bucks. They head over to the hill, and they can be picked up at maybe near midnight from the Hoover Met by mom or dad.
Oh, yeah. Eating too many French fries and hot dogs, enjoying your day, watching some ball.
Is there a better day as a young man than that?
No, I'm from Pennsylvania. That was never an option for me. But if I ever get the chance one day, that's where my kids are going to be going. What an awesome weekend that would be.
Yeah, it starts on May 19th. The Hoover Met and those fantastic atmospheres throughout the week.
Such a different tournament now with single elimination and those buys. I think it's better. Obviously, I only got the chance to be here and play for a year, but always followed along closely, and it makes a lot more sense, especially with regionals starting up the following week and all that. I think it's better to make sure all the teams get a chance to play in it. Single elimination just seems to make way more sense.
Yeah, and then maybe your top teams don't get taxed as much before heading into those NCAA regionals when you're only going single elimination. Double elimination can get you playing 5-6 games there in Hoover sometimes. But
there's also instances like last year where the Aggies, our Aggies, found themselves in a hole, but Hoover was the opportunity to try to work back out of that. And I think that's what makes the tournament really cool, is there's stories like that that are a part of it. Great pitch from Weston.
Well, he keeps cruising. He has only allowed 1 base runner, and that was on a strikeout that reached base off of him. He just struck out Bub Terrell there. Flat out dealing. Weston Moss on this Sunday. All we've got is a first inning run by the Aggies. Gavin Grahovac was the leadoff man in the bottom of one. He doubled, kind of caught the Tigers napping, and he went over to third base before they made a late throw over there. And then Chris Hakopian on the ground scored Grahovac. And Wyatt, we've got a Sunday looking like a Friday. Alex Petrovic against Weston Moss.
Yeah, these two have been awesome. I mean, look at these lines. Four innings each. One hit, one earned for Petrovic, but Weston just continues to deal, both of them. And the difference is some Gavin Grahovac base running and a hard double.
They're dealing and dueling.
Really different for a Sunday. What a good point out of you there. I mean, a lot of times on Sunday you seem to see a lot of offense. A lot of teams using up a lot of pitching, but I mean, man, you can't say enough about these two dealing right now. Aggies looking to put some more on the board.
So halfway home as a southbound train rolls by with a couple of engines. Good Sunday crowd. That train wanted to make its presence felt and did so with a piercing horn behind right field. Bear Harrison, he's made his presence felt quite a bit lately.
Sure has.
He is 8 for his last 15, and he's got an 8-game hit streak going.
Yeah, we highlighted Bear earlier. Like we said, just an on-base machine all year, and the hits feel like they're finally starting to fall. Was hitting the ball well and hard at the beginning of the year, just couldn't get anything to fall. Just misses one down the line here.
Out in front and tagged it, and it went to the Aggie bullpen.
Yep. And look at that stat line for Bear Harrison, climbing all the way up to about 300 now, 9 home runs, 35 walks, a ton of hit by pitches. I mean, the guy's getting on base at a high clip and catching almost every game for the Aggies.
And, I mean, just doing a brilliant job of it.
Controlling the run game. And on the other side, Freilich, I mean, we've been highlighting him all weekend, too. I mean, this is a battle of a great 2 backstops. Work with some good pitching staffs, and are putting the bat and ball. Freilich's got 3 home runs this weekend, up to 12 now.
Yeah, good stuff from both catchers.
See if Bear can get things going here and lead off the inning.
2-2, he got a breaking ball, and he skied it very high to center field, and Bristol Carter with the first out of the inning.
Just clips one here. Just missed it a little bit. Petrovic continues to roll. Sunny day. You're seeing some outfielders here battling that sun a little bit. Here's a guy we can't seem to talk enough about. I mean, my goodness.
Creative player.
Yes. I think the biggest thing you can say about him and his hitting is how physical he is, but how tight he moves. It's such a simple swing, and simple in the best way, you know. We've seen him drive balls that almost look like they're going to hit him out to center field for a home run. And just such a simple look. Him and Caden Sorrell, just 2 of the prettier left-handed swings you'll see. A little fooled there, though. Petrovic has got him off balance.
Petrovic has not allowed a base runner since the first inning when the Aggies put up that run.
Petrovic's really been mixing it well. I know we sound like a broken record and continue saying that, but the Aggies just haven't been able to get anything really going off them besides that Gavin Grahovac double.
It's actually 13 in a row set down by Petrovic. That is it there, Wyatt. The double by Gavin Grahovac is the only base runner of the game for A&M. Now on the other side, a strikeout that reached because of a wild pitch is the only base runner of the game for the Auburn Tigers. That's what Moss and Petrovic are doing, and now Petrovic strikes out Jorian Wilson for the second time.
And such a good changeup here. I mean, both pitchers, Weston and Petrovic, just really mixing that changeup well the other side of the plate against left-handed hitters. And I think that says some credit to him as well. You give up a leadoff double, give up a run, and then just continue to deal right after and go unfazed. Can't say enough about that.
I was talking to Butch Thompson before the game, and he mentioned Petrovic has had a few rough first innings recently, but he's a good enough pitcher to work through that. And then, well, that's the case today. Allowed the double right away, but he's been just fine ever since. Hard cut by Blake Benderup. Off speed, 79 miles per hour. Looked a bit out in front.
Continues to use all 3 pitches to both sides of the plate. Just has the Aggies really off balance. Benderup a little out in front there. Really got to adjust his sights and thinking more right center here. Stay on this breaking ball.
It's down in the dirt. And Freilich will just get rid of that ball, get a new one in to Alex Petrovic. 2 balls, 2 strikes, 2 outs to Blake Benderup.
Change up there.
Missed low with it. Petrovic from Cypress, Texas, about an hour down the road. Definitely, he's got some friends and family here at Bluebell Park watching this one. Benderup barrels him up. First base runner for the Aggies since the first hitter of the game. And Blake Benderup has a 2-out single.
Copy and paste from Gavin Garovac there down the line, but boy, Bub Terrell, great job cutting this ball off and keeping Benderup from getting to second. Great swing, such a simple swing right there. Nice and easy, great swing with 2 strikes. What a job by Bub right there, cutting that thing off. It looked like a sure double.
Hurry, yeah.
Yeah, what a play out there. It's little things like that that'll go overlooked sometimes, especially with 2 outs.
Yeah, now nobody's in scoring position with 2 down. Travis Chestnut showed bunt, kind of got off balance on a pitch up and in. There was a question, did he keep the bat out there? But they appealed down to first base, and the umpire over there, Clint Fagan, said no, he held up. So it's ball 1 to Travis Chestnut. Up. So at the moment, Chase Freilich wants a quick word with Alex Petrovic.
This is the first time we're really seeing Petrovic just be a little off. I think it's a good call from Freilich there. Just go settle him down. He's been pitching fantastic all day. Get him to refocus. He's got 2 outs. Chestnut, on the other hand, just continue to be patient. Continue passing the torch. Big triple from Chestnut yesterday, stepping in.
Much needed, got the Aggies back in the game. A&M nearly came all the way back and won it. That was game 2 of the doubleheader. Breaking ball called strike. Chestnut's making his 12th start of the season. 23rd game all told that he's played in. Outside and a swing and a miss.
I think that's the difference for Petrovic today too. I mean, he gets behind in counts and just continues to bury strikes with the breaking balls when he gets hitters into hitters counts. And the Aggies right there, I mean, that's one you want back. You'd want a 3-1 count there, but he's got another pitch to work with. See if Chestnut can make that adjustment here. Even with his speed, just putting a ball in play with 2 strikes gives you a chance to move the ball, move the runners. Electric speed at the plate right here.
So a full count pitch coming from Petrovic to Chestnut, and Benderup at first base will go with this offering.
Great adjustment from Chestnut there, spitting on a pitch he chased a minute ago. See if he can win this full count battle here.
There goes Benderup, but a swing and a miss by Travis Chestnut will end the inning. Alex Petrovic, he allows his first base runner since the first inning, but no harm. Auburn had really picked it up offensively in conference play. That's why they've now won 5 straight SEC series. But they've had some trouble dealing with Weston Moss, the Aggie right-hander today. A&M will take a 1-0 lead into the 6th inning. 7, 8, and 9 due up for Auburn in this frame. Brandon McCrane, then Eddie Madrigal, and then Bristol Carter. Brandon McCrane is the only Tiger to reach base today. Struck out swinging back in the 3rd, but a wild pitch allowed him to go to first base. He would later steal 2nd, then he tried to steal 3rd and was thrown out.
Tell you what, it's got to be pretty cool to share the field with your brother.
Oh, that's got to be nice.
Put on that jersey together.
I tell you what, Mom and Dad probably like it a whole lot, don't they?
Oh my gosh, can't even imagine. So cool. What an awesome opportunity, and both having great years.
Chopped away foul, pull side.
Yeah, Weston's really been relying on that changeup today, and I'm happy he is. That's the difference maker for him, and I think that's where we've seen his season change for the better over the last 4 starts, is he's really been able to rely on that pitch again.
Liner. Gavin Grahovac is right there as he goes to the dirt to grab it.
Great reaction from number 9 over there. Snags an absolute bullet. Great piece of hitting from McCrane there with 2 strikes. I mean, hitting the ball 103 right at someone with 2 strikes. He did nothing wrong. You're heading back to the plate. Excuse me, heading back to the dugout. Frustrated you're not walking away with a hit, but knowing you did everything right. Only been a few of those today. Really, just been sound pitching from both sides.
Yeah, I was trying to think of the hard hit balls by Auburn. And McCrane right there.
Guevara
in the 1st inning to right field. Yeah, yep. The opposite way was pretty well hit, close to the track. That was caught by Jorian Wilson.
And then 2 doubles by the Aggies, but besides that, maybe a handful, maybe count on one hand the amount of hard hit balls. It's really just been about the pitching today. See if this stays in.
The Aggies had the shift on, so nobody able to get to it. 3rd base, kind of the vacated spot. Boston Kellner, too long of a run for him. Now it's Eddie Madrigal at the plate. I wouldn't say Eddie Madrigal hit the ball hard earlier, but he did make a bid for a base hit on a dying ball in center field. Great catch, diving effort by Caden Sorrell robbed him.
Super Sorrell, that is, out there in center
Had the
field.
cape on. He put the cape on to make that catch. Charging hard inward and making the dive in center field.
Rob Madrigal the hit.
And now Madrigal back at the plate with the 1-2 count.
Aggies in a pretty strong left-handed shift here. They've been doing it most of the day and most of the weekend. Boston Kellner's getting his steps in on these foul balls over here.
All players now, they wear those catapult vests that has the heart rate tracker, and he's probably got some good fitness marks.
Absolutely.
With this Madrigal at bat.
I'll tell you what, the outfielders, they run up a crazy number. I remember Jace run out to center last year, was running a few miles a day, I'd say. Getting out there, getting back and forth.
Yeah.
Us third basemen have a long one too. The third basemen have a really long, long work day too. Going about 10 yards to the dugout. Just how I liked it.
That is at Travis Chestnut. He will throw out Madrigal. Yeah, but you know, road games, first base dugout, maybe you got the little longer runs
We'll mix in
from
like
the
30
third
yards,
baseman. Yeah,
30
that,
yards,
that
yeah.
helps the GPS tracker and the catapult system.
Absolutely. Absolutely. Thank you. I appreciate that
Yeah,
one.
so you guys aren't just walking into the third base dugout all day, all year, I should say. I mean, you know.
Running wasn't really my strong suit, Will. I don't know what my strong suit was. It definitely wasn't that.
There's not many people that it is.
Add that to the hard hit ball earlier. Just only a few of them, only a handful. But the shift worked for the Aggies there, and now we got 2 away. Weston Moss continues to fill it up. 0-1 count here.
Bottom of the order, and Bristol Carter at the plate. That's going to get out of play. 0-2.
This is as calm as Weston I've ever seen him. Just looks really under control, really simple. And when you're going good, that's what it feels like. It feels like it's simple, it's slow, it's under control, and you just try to replicate that as much as you can. He's dealing today.
Yeah, you mentioned, you know, calm. Sometimes he can pitch with emotion.
And there's nothing wrong with that.
Yeah, that's fine too, but you might be seeing a different side today, just calm, cool, and collected and going out and dealing.
Absolutely. That's one of the things I loved being out there with Weston last year, is when he does get fired up, it gets you going. There's nothing wrong with showing that emotion. It's just that today it looks like he's on cruise control.
Thought he may have had strike 3 there against Bristol Carter. Just missed the zone. And it's a 2-2 count.
Maybe a hair up and away there, Will. Good 2-strike pitch regardless.
Carter hangs in there with another foul ball.
Auburn's been having really good at-bats all inning. Just nothing to show for it. Seems like they're able to work these counts so far. But credit to Weston and this Aggie defense. They've been in the right spots at the right time and making the pitches when they need to.
Now Moss getting close to 70 pitches on this outing. Check swing, and that'll end it. Moss has struck out a man in every inning but the 4th. And he just got Bristol Carter. That's his 6th K of the game. Now look at that line score on this Sunday. Gavin Grahovac was the first man to the plate for the Aggies today. In the bottom of the 1st, he ripped a double. He would later come home to score. That's it. Weston Moss, the Aggie right-hander, and Alex Petrovic, the Tiger right-hander, have dominated this finale. And 1-0 A&M. Here we go to the bottom of the 6th, the bottom of the Aggie order in Boston Kellner.
Really want to see this Aggie lineup try to take advantage of some of these breaking balls and advantage counts. Just been a little passive on some of these hanging breaking balls and hitters counts, and that's what Petrovic's been able to dominate with. Kellner's taken away here until he got a strike. Pretty common there from the Aggie side of things to be patient when you're leading off the inning.
Breaking ball,
right
Kellner
there.
stayed on it and bounced it through the left side, struck it pretty hard. And the leadoff man is aboard for the Aggies for the first time since the first inning when they plated the only run of the game.
Right on cue there. Breaking ball and a hitter's count, pretty neutral count, 1-1 count, and finds a hole. Ground ball through the 6 hole, 101 off the bat. Not a bad pitch from Petrovic there. But Kellner puts a good swing on the ball, and now you got to face number 9. Tell you what, interesting shift in the outfield for the Tigers with Gavin. Gavin really likes to use that right center gap, and they're opening up a little bit for him.
And Bristol Carter, the center fielder, shaded toward the gap in left center. And then they move Mason McCrane over a bit. Mason McCrane, the right fielder, not playing straight away. He goes glove side just a little bit.
Yeah, he just shifted over a little bit more. I mean, Gavin loves to use section 12. He's got a few over that area.
They have gone home with plenty souvenirs, courtesy of Gavin Verhoeven. Petrovic starts him off with a strike and a fastball in the outside corner.
Third time around here, I'm curious to see how the Auburn pitching staff here and pitching coaches decide to call this against the Aggies for a third time around. I'd imagine they stick with what's working, which is mixing all 3 pitches.
So an 0-2 count now to Grahovac.
Gavin's been all over the breaking balls from Petrovic today, but hasn't really been able to pull the trigger on the fastballs. But I think one of the biggest things you can say about Gavin and his maturation, even with a year off, just how refined his approach has gotten on the plate. His chase has been way down. His strikeouts are way down. See if he can make that adjustment right here and pass the torch. Good spoil.
The 3 hits for the Aggies today: the Grahovac double in the first, a Bender up single in the 5th, and a Boston Kellner single to start this inning. Grahovac protecting the plate and looking for his pitch with an 0-2 count. Petrovic comes with it and fouls that away. Stick with an 0-2.
Petrovic continues to just pound fastballs over the middle of the plate to Gavin here, and a little late, but with a 2-strike approach here the Aggies are putting on, you're really trying to give up the fastball, fight off fastballs and stay on breaking balls. Not selling out to the pull side. Try to use the whole field, move the ball. Try to get Kellner into scoring position here.
Hadn't been a ton of moments for the offense for either team. Not a ton of opportunities. Did the Aggies have one here? Grahovac to center field. Carter goes back, now comes in, and that's 1 out. That'll bring up Caden Sorrell.
Caden struggled with the changeup from Petrovic so far today. See if he can make his adjustment and try to get his sight set a little bit higher. Be able to stay on some of those breaking balls popping over the zone. There it was right there.
Shift on to the right side for Caden Sorrell. Third base vacated. 34 extra base hits, leads the conference. the homers behind only Daniel Jackson of Georgia.
He's having a special year, Will.
And Sorrell now up to 44 career home runs for Texas A&M. And again, he's reached that number despite being injured last year and only playing about half the season.
Missed only a few games this year with that stitches in his hand, a couple stitches, but besides that, he's been awfully consistent for the Aggies and really one of the spark plugs of this lineup.
And there's only been 3 A&M players ever to hit 50 home runs in a career here. Jace Laviolette, one of them. Dalen Holt and Scott Livingstone, the other 2. Sorrell could get there. So could Gavin Grahovac. Grahovac, 41 career home runs at A&M. That's out of play, and it's a 1-2 count. So they are giving chase. It's going to take a lot to get to Jace Laviolette. I don't think anybody's getting there, but you could get to 50 if you're Caden Sorrell and Gavin Grahovac and join that trio, that elite power trio that you see there.
Absolutely. Got to spend some time with Scott Livingstone yesterday, talking some baseball. He spends a lot of time at the ballpark. Does the Ball 5 podcast.
Yeah, he's still
career.
around Aggie baseball. Scott
Oh, yeah.
Livingstone is, yeah.
Absolutely.
Had a good career with the Detroit Tigers. Mostly did Livingstone in the major leagues. Sorrell lifts that just enough into right field, so 2 Aggies are aboard with 2 singles here in the bottom of the 6th inning. Kellner to second as Sorrell gets a knock.
Yeah, it looks like a hanging changeup here. Not even a bad pitch. Sorrell just has enough left in his bat. Man, his bat's in the zone forever. So much adjustability in that swing, and is able to flick it out there with 2 strikes and gets Kellner in scoring position with 1 out. First rounder up to bat.
Chris Hakopian coming to the plate, but first the Tigers will talk on the mound.
Like I said, not even a bad pitch from Petrovic there. Changeup at the bottom of the zone with 2 outs, or 2 strikes, excuse me, and really just good hitting by Sorrell, able to stay on it and find a hole. A little movement here in the Auburn bullpen.
Yeah, LJ Cormier, right-hander, warms up. So A&M with an opportunity. Those seem rare for both offenses today. Chris Hakopian drove in what is right now the only run of the game. You go back to the bottom of the first after Grahovac's double. Grahovac went to third on a steal, basically. Caught the Auburn defense napping. And once he was at third, Grahovac put a ball on the ground at the shortstop. Hakopian. Once Grahovac was at third, Hakopian put a ball on the ground at the shortstop. He was thrown out, but Grahovac scored. And that is it. 1-0 Aggies. That's the score that's held all the way here to the bottom of the 6th. Now Hakopian trying to do something about it.
And a bat
Chris Hakopian goes yard. That is a massive swing of the bat. A&M goes from up 1-0 to 4-0 on the Hakopian bomb.
I mean, can't say enough about this guy. Tore up his shin in a collision a few weeks ago, is struggling to run. Insists to the coaching staff that he stay in that lineup and puts up a huge swing for the Aggies here. He's got all 4 RBIs tonight. Such a tough player, incredible ball player. Puts the Aggies up 4-0. Look at this pimp job. Oh boy.
Think he knew it?
Let's see what you think. Yeah. Look at that.
Yeah, he's well aware of it.
Aggie dugout showing some energy there too.
6th home run of the year for Chris Hakopian.
Chris has battled the injury bug a little bit this year. Some collisions, a ball to the face. He had a root canal this week.
A back
Bad
problem early
collision.
in the year.
A lot of stuff that you just don't plan for in your season, but just continues to fight through it. Training staff Kaylee Swain, they're able to keep him on the field. And you could see yesterday he was really fighting to get around those bases and stay in the lineup, and that's a guy you need out there. But easier said than done playing through an injury like that. All 4 RBIs today.
That one a little louder than the run he drove in the first. 3-run homer in the 6th for Hakopian. RBI ground out in the first. And those are the all 4 that he's driven in. Well, the bubbles have flown by. It's quieted just a bit here at Bluebell Park, and Jake Dewar going to try to start up something new for the Aggies.
Dewar's biggest strength is using the other side of the field and sees the ball really deep, really short swing. I feel like the last few weeks he's struggled a little bit with just getting some stuff a little out in front and getting away with where his swing's at. And right there, I like seeing him catch that ball a little bit deeper and work the left side of the field. When he's at his best, he's really using the left field. Similar to the guy next to us in the booth over here, Mr. Hayden Schott. When they're at their best, they're using left field.
Good spray charts.
Yeah. No, seriously though, I mean it's a skill to be able to use the other side of the field, and Jake's incredible at doing it. And when he gets back to that, it's only going to add even more to this Aggie lineup. Right there.
Yeah,
I mean,
tried to do it right there.
Right there, and that's where he's at his best, you know. And I love seeing that right there. Spoil pitches. Not a guy you're expecting to strike out a lot. He's going to walk a lot. And such a good guy to have in the 4-hole, protecting a couple of these big hitters in front of him. Just such a good pickup for the Aggies this year, getting him from FAU. Great locker room guy.
Yeah, he
continues to work it.
Yeah, at FAU last year, he was hitting .429 until his injury cut his season short for the Owls.
Yeah. Got to spend some time chatting with him yesterday before the game, and like I said, just one of my favorites. What a great addition. And even right there, I think that's what, like I said, that's when he's at his best. He's spoiling pitches with 2 strikes, putting together quality at-bats. Let's see if he can finish this at-bat here. And he didn't.
Oh, he tried to go down the line, and he nearly did for extra bases. You got a bit of a shift on for Dewar. Third base somewhat vacated, and I don't really understand a shift like on a guy like this because of what we've been talking about. He just goes all fields. He can go the opposite way at any time.
If there's one guy in this Aggie lineup that uses every single part of the field, it's probably Jake Dewar. And he right here, he may have done it.
Yeah, he's proving it with this plate appearance, and that lands just foul as Bub Terrell was giving it a look. But it's for what the reasons I say it, what you're seeing here. This is why I don't shift Jake Dewar. But
right. Well, and he's really staying the other way. He's staying on all these pitches. He's spoiling. He's using the whole part of the field, and he's done that. When he's at his best, this is what he's doing. So this is a positive sign for him and the Aggies. Petrovic frustrated he can't get one by him. Let's see if he can make a pitch to finish him off here.
But now the thing is, it's not like 3 infielders are on the right side for a full-on pull from Jake Dewar. It's just third baseman Eric Guevara is playing well off the bag, off the line, over toward where a shortstop would be close to.
Right. Just a mature at bat, though. I mean, look at these pitches he's spoiling. He's seeing it deep. It's a textbook 2-strike approach. See it deep, give up the inner half of the plate. You're fighting pitches off.
Well, he hit it right at Guevara. It shows you what I know.
Oh, man.
One hopper right at Guevara.
Maybe we should leave the scouting reports to the Auburn Tigers with the analytics.
Keep my mouth shut and let Butch Thompson do what he does.
Oh, man. Regardless, though, I mean, that's an awesome at-bat from Jake Dewar. I know he didn't get to walk away with a hit or get on base, but, I mean, that's a quality at-bat that's getting close to getting Petrovic out of the game. A guy that's really dominated you all day, except 2 pitches, really. Had a big double and a big home run for Chris Kopi, and he's had a great day.
Yeah, through 5, Petrovic had just barely allowed anything. The Aggies got the first inning run, and then Petrovic dominated all the way through 5. But A&M managed to find something on him and then got the big swing of the bat from Chris Akopian to take it out to a 4-0 Aggie lead. So Auburn will go to what looks like LJ Cormier. Tigers to the bullpen. Alex Petrovic, a brilliant outing through 5 innings, hardly allowed anything against the Aggies. They finally got to him in the 6th, here in the bottom of the 6th, and that's what will chase him from the game. And the Tigers will go to LJ Cormier. So it's 5 2/3 for Petrovic. 3 hits this inning. Singles by Kellner and Sorrell, and then the big home run from Chris Akopian. First man to face LJ Cormier is Bear Harrison.
Really a solid outing from Petrovic. I mean, like we talked about, just a few swings that got away from him, a few hanging pitches over the middle of the plate, but pounded the zone, no walks, 6 strikeouts. His team's still in striking distance.
15th appearance for LJ Cormier. They are all out of the bullpen for Cormier, no starts. He looks like he can come at you with a true curveball, just looping in at about 75 miles per hour.
Yeah, really high breaking ball with a lot of north-south movement. Really going to try to start that ball over the middle of the plate and spike it in the dirt. A little bit of a higher release. Going to be more of that north-south pitcher where he's trying to work up and down to the bottom and the top of the strike zone. Try to get you chase low and pound the strike zone at the top.
It's well out in front of home plate. It's going to be a full count to Bear Harrison with 2 outs. Harrison trying to extend a hit streak to 9 games in a row. He walks here, so that means he has reached base now in 20 games in a row.
That guy finds his way on base, Bear Harrison. Almost a 500 on base percentage for the Aggie backstop. One of the best hitters on this team for the last few weeks and continues to get on base. Two outs here with Jorian Wilson up to bat. Really want him to hone on that fastball at the bottom of the zone with this high release, high ride guy. Starts him off with a changeup there. Just get back to what he's really good at, which is hunting fastballs and ambushing breaking ball mistakes. But just looks like the last few at-bats he's been a little in between. Really want to get back to that fastball and adjust off it.
Now Wilson struck out both times he faced Petrovic. Swing and a miss here against LJ Cormier.
Heavy dose of changeups to Wilson today. Everyone in that Auburn lineup knows this guy can change a game with one swing. See if he can adjust his sights a little bit, chasing that changeup. Really selling out on the pull side.
over toward the Aggie dugout. A few of them bailed out.
And right there, well, that's what we're saying a little bit. Just a little in between on these pitches. That heavy dose of breaking balls early and then trying to get back to that fastball, just a little tardy. See with 2 strikes if he can really use that middle of the field. Stay on that fastball and adjust.
On that foul ball over toward the Aggie dugout, you saw Weston Moss kind of in the background there, just throwing a bag against the wall. It's a bit of a long inning that the Aggies are having offensively, and Moss trying to stay loose and warm and head back out there for the 7th.
Yeah, good sign for the Aggies. I mean, he ain't coming out of the game right now, and that's one of the things the pitchers do a lot of, especially later in the outing, trying to keep that arm fresh as they're going to throw those plyo balls into the wall. Just make sure that arm's ready to go. You don't want to have so much of that up and down where you're sitting cold in between innings. So I know Weston's one of the guys that's helped him a lot, and is one of the things he used as part of his routine.
And now he's staked to a 4-0 lead. A&M trying to get something going with 2 outs as well. It's in the dirt. Bear Harrison read it. Got far enough away from Freilich for Harrison to head over to second base.
And that could change the whole bottom half of this inning right here. Put up a big spot with a home run. Bear Harrison finds his way to second with 2 outs, and you got the chance to add another run here. There's different ways to score runs, man. Home runs are one of them, but good fundamentals there from the Aggies and taking advantage of a pass ball. Let's see if Jorian can get an RBI here and get Harrison in.
That's a walk. Cormier has come in and walked 2 Aggie batters. Well, you said different ways to score runs, Wyatt. I mean, the first inning, yeah, I know Gavin Grahovac had a loud double to start it, but he had good base running to go to third base, kind of caught the Tigers napping. He got the ground ball to score. A&M did manufacture that first run of the game, and now after this homer, with 2 outs, they're trying to start something up with the benefit of a couple of walks.
Absolutely. And even there, like Bear Harrison getting over on a 2-2 count with a right-handed pitcher thrown to Jorian Wilson, you're kind of into the spot where you're just going to pitch around Jorian and pretty much give up the base and hope he chases. So little things like that add up and sets up an offense to really put up some team offense moments. So right here, a great chance for Blake Binderup. Like we said, we're working up against a freshman right-handed pitcher that's done a great job this year, really working the bottom and the top of the zone.
With Cormier having walked to Auburn, they do get some more action going in their bullpen. Ryan Hetzler throwing. Caught the corner on Blake Binderup. He's got him down to the count 0-2.
Great pitch there. Little breaking ball in the outer half. Nothing you can really do if you're Binderup there. You're taking that all the way. You're getting to an 0-2 count where you just got to battle now. Put the ball in play, give yourself a chance to score a run. These Auburn pitchers use a heavy dose of a big mix. It's not a lot of 1-2 guys with 1 or 2 pitches. They're using 3 or 4 pitches and using them to both sides of the plate, and that's why it's been hard for these Aggies to stay on the barrel. Good spoil. There's that bigger one. That's that out pitch. He's trying to spike it, get a swing and miss from Binderup. Good spoil there. Big opportunity for the Aggies to add another run. And on the flip side, big moment for Auburn to get back in the dugout.
Trying to stay within striking distance. Binderup backing up the right fielder, Mason McCrane, close to the track and onto the track by the time he made the catch. Chris Akopian, nothing warning track about this. He blasted it well over the left field wall. Biggest swing of the bat of the day. 3-run shot, 4-0 Aggies. Wyatt, what a day for Weston Moss. He's going to pitch into the 7th inning here. And the only Auburn Tiger to reach base today. Came back in the 3rd inning when he struck out Brandon McCrane, yet McCrane reached on a wild pitch. And that's it. There's the Tiger that has reached base today.
Yep.
Off Weston Moss.
Calm, cool, and collected from number 21 today. Weston Moss has been awesome, and like we talked about at the beginning, him being able to use that changeup to both sides of the plate is really where his confidence stems from, and he's done such a great job of that. And top of the order here, 3rd time through.
The brother of Brandon McCrane, Mason McCrane, and he delivers the first hit of the game for Auburn. He's going to churn for second base, and he's got a double. First hit of the game for Auburn comes in the top of the 7th inning.
Great piece of hitting there, and jumps on a first pitch. First pitch changeup, 112 down the line. That's absolutely blitz down the line for a double for McCrane. Beautiful left-handed swing. A little bit closer than I would have thought there at second with that arm you got in right field.
And now it's Eric Guevara.
Big moment for Auburn to get a run back. One of the things you stress a lot in these dugouts is when you put up runs and you give runs, when you give up runs, try to get back at that deficit. And on the flip side, putting up a crooked number for the Aggies, you're trying to limit, especially right after you score. Because Auburn's going to try to chip back into this game. They're not trying to put up 4 in the top of the 7th, but if they can chip back with 1, 2, puts that game in striking distance.
They give themselves a chance.
And this is your guy at the plate. This is your best player up. Guevara's been all over the ball all weekend, really, but just had some tough luck. I mean, his first at-bat today, 106, almost off the wall in right center. Same thing in the first game yesterday, just all over the ball. You can see why he's one of the best players in the SEC.
Before the game, we were talking about his stance, way back in the box, very open.
It's a unique setup, but the bat to ball is clear, and I think that's a big reason why you keep a guy where he's comfortable. And I think just the visuals he gets from that perspective with both eyes on the ball.
Austin Kellner will throw out Guevara. 1 down.
He really just is on the barrel. Like right there, another 97-mile-an-hour bat on ball. I mean, it's right at the shortstop, Kellner. But he does a great job putting the bat on the ball and hits the ball hard. Right there, nothing comes up with nothing to show for it, but it's a good piece of hitting, and come up with Freilich here. It looks like that might be it for Weston Moss. What an outing.
What a brilliant Sunday afternoon for Weston Moss when the Aggies really needed him. A&M trying to salvage a game in this series. And Weston Moss stands tall. Now he'll get a standing ovation.
That Aggie crowd's loving it right now. They're getting behind him.
So to the bullpen A&M goes after Weston Moss gives them a ton on this Sunday afternoon. Weston Moss did not allow a hit through 6 innings today. Only allowed 1 base runner through 6 innings, and that was because he struck a man out in the 3rd inning, and a pitch on that 3rd strike got away for a wild pitch. The definition of dominant. And now the Aggies will try to hang on to it for him. 6 1/3. He allowed that double to start this inning to Mason McCrane, and that is it. That's the lone hit. Striking out 6. He now gives way to the bullpen.
Just what Mike Early and the Aggies needed was Weston Moss doing that today. It was incredible.
Great stuff, and now Ethan Darden in the Aggie bullpen will try to pick him up. Darden, the Clemson transfer, first man he will face is the big hitting Chase Fralick, the Tiger catcher.
And good move there from Mike Early and Jason Kelly and bringing him in here. Not that Weston was in a bad spot by any means, but this is a must-win Sunday, and you still got these guys in the bullpen. 3rd time around facing Fralick, who's got 3 home runs already this weekend. Bring in your lefty specialist, Darden. Have him come in and try to do your best on taking care of a really talented hitter in Fralick.
2-0 to Fralick. Another Aggie pitcher you got to give a lot of credit to this weekend. That's Gavin Lyons, what he did yesterday. He came in when the Aggies were down 5-0 yesterday, threw 4 scoreless innings to keep A&M in it and save some of that bullpen. You can use them on this Sunday as you try to get the salvage. 2-2 now, Darden to Fralick.
Yeah, and yesterday the 2nd game didn't go that way the Aggies wanted it, and Auburn had an awesome doubleheader sweep. But Gavin Lyons gave him a chance to win. And I mean, it ended up only being a 1-run game, and that's because of his performance there. And the Aggies had a chance to creep back in. And like you said, we're sitting here today with a better rested bullpen because of it.
Got away from Bear Harrison for a bit, but not enough for McCrane to advance to 3rd base. And when Gavin Lyons came in yesterday, to that point in the series, Auburn had put up 23 runs in 12 innings. He goes 4 scoreless to close things out yesterday. Then you get Weston Moss doing what he did today.
And what a great success story with Aiden Sims and Gavin Lyons and the step forward they took from last year.
Big swing and a miss. Big strikeout by Ethan Darden as he steps into it.
Great pitch from Darden, just tying him up upstairs. One of the biggest things, I think, getting into college, and when you're younger in high school, no one really pitches over the middle of the plate, the inner half of the plate, especially with 2 strikes. But once you get to college, pitchers being able to win that inner half of the plate is where they really make their money. Darden left on left, just ties him up right there. Great pitch, and turns it over to another talented hitter to see if he can get through this lineup here and put up a big 0.
It's Chris Rembert from the right side. First pitch was in, breaking ball. Now misses just out.
Going back to Gavin Lyons and Aiden Sims, I mean, talk about 2 guys that, like I said, took a step forward this year and had moments last year where, you know, they really gave us a chance at the end of the year, and just the maturation they've had. They've seen that velo creep up, working out here this summer. Spent some time with them. And just competing on the mound this year, giving that Aggie bullpen what they needed in the starting rotation with some injuries, some guys going down like your 12th man, Josh Stewart, Cade McCoy, some big names that were supposed to be focal points of this bullpen. It was going to take guys like those 2 stepping up, and they've done just that.
Hard hit, and it got past Boston Kellner into left field. The Tigers are going to try to get their first run of the game, and they will. And now a defensive mistake by the Aggies. That went by and all the way to the backstop on the throw from left field. And that will allow Rembert to get to 2nd base after he drives in McCrane.
Great piece of hitting from Rembert here. As advertised, just bat on the ball, smokes one here. Really tough play for our Kellner to try to knock that one down. That's all he's trying to do there. Looks like Jake Dewar tried to get that ball to the relay man and Gavin Grahovac, but just kind of got around it and cut it forward. No one's there to back it up. And Auburn's sitting here with a chance to make this a 2-run game.
Ethan Bingaman at the plate. First pitch to him, out. So hits by McCrane and Rimbert this inning. Mason McCrane and Rimbert. The only 2 hits of the game for the Tigers, and they're on the board.
Yeah, that replay is going to be highlighted this week for sure. You know, you're going to look back at that, and Jake Deere was going to wish he didn't throw that ball there. But at the end of the day, if you could put up a 0 here, and excuse me, not a 0, limit the runs here at least, and not have this run score, you're going to be feeling a whole lot better about that. Looks like Mike Early's going to come and take him out, though.
This will be with a count.
Yeah, 2-0 count with your left-hander facing a right-handed power threat. Probably makes more sense to go here to your bullpen. And it looks like you're going to your best guy right here, Clayton Freshcorn, looking for a long save.
Indeed, it's the big right-hander coming in. Back in a bit. Rally Cap coming up tonight, 6 Eastern, 5 Central on the SEC Network and on the ESPN app. They'll take back at a look back at the weekend in baseball and softball, and they'll look ahead to the best matchups coming up this week. Softball closed out the regular season, and they're heading to their conference tournament. And baseball heading down the home stretch in the regular season. They'll discuss it all on Rally Cap tonight. And the Aggies going to their big right arm out of the bullpen, a resilient arm that they call it. That's why you can see him multiple times on a weekend. Although it's the first time you see him here in the Auburn series for Texas A&M. It's Clayton Freshcorn. And 10 saves on the year for Freshcorn.
Yeah, going to your best guy now. Must-win game for the Aggies to salvage this one and leave the weekend with 1 win. Asking for 2 1/3 from him. That's more than something he can do. Just been an awesome story this year. Got to come up with him last year as a transfer, and such an unbelievable teammate, and he's only gotten that much better. Especially you saw at the end of the year in Hoover last year when he really felt like he got his confidence where it is now. And I mean, man, he's been awesome. It's been cool this year too, seeing from kind of the outside just the leadership role he's taken in this dugout. Just one of the leaders in that, and especially in that bullpen. He's got so much confidence out there, and I know I've talked to guys like Gavin and Boston in the infield, and they've just talked about how much confidence they have when this guy's pitching. Not the way you want to start there, though, with a walk.
Had to come in with a 2-0 count, then threw 2 more balls to Ethan Bingaman. First and second for Auburn with 2 down here in the top of the 7th. Bub Terrell will come to the plate. For Freshcorn, the 10 saves, that's 5th in the nation. It ties for 5th nationally. The saves leader when it comes to Division I baseball is Albert Robles of Oregon State with 13.
Freshcorn's right there.
Yeah.
Preseason and midseason stopper of the year watch list. A&M had one of those a few years ago.
He's carrying it on, and he got a swing and a miss here by Bub Terrell, and he's got him down to the count 0-2.
Great job from Freshcorn getting right back in there. Comes in at an interesting spot in a 2-0 count. Has a base open, no worries. Gets right back in there as pounded strikes. On the flip side, the Auburn Tigers have a great opportunity here to do some damage and score another run. Cut into that deficit. What a pitch.
Freshcorn fired up, coming off the mound. He got Bub Terrell looking. Huge pitch to strand a couple of Tigers on base. Heading to the stretch, 4-1 Aggies. On this Sunday in the SEC, Georgia, they're out in front of everybody in league play. The first place Bulldogs not going to lose any ground this weekend because they sweep Missouri in Athens. And then all the other 4 teams you see there, A&M and Auburn, Texas and Mississippi State, that's who's chasing Georgia. Coming into the weekend, A&M was 2nd in the conference, Auburn was 5th. And then in the middle of the Aggies and Tigers, Texas was 3rd in the conference, Mississippi State was 4th. So it's that collection of 4 teams trying to chase Georgia. Nobody's going to make up any ground this weekend as Georgia sweeps. Texas and Mississippi State split the first 2 games of their series. Texas out in front in the finale. And then A&M trying to salvage one against Auburn this weekend. The Aggies out in front as we leave the 7th inning stretch and head to the bottom of 7.
Yeah, and if you look at Georgia, too, moving forward, I mean, they got LSU coming up next. Wouldn't say LSU is the normal LSU we're accustomed to. They're struggling a little bit this year. And then ended with Auburn versus these other teams right here. Auburn and A&M have a pretty gauntlet, pretty much a gauntlet coming up at the end.
With the Georgia win, look at the updated standings. The Aggies now 3 back with Texas. Now A&M holds the tiebreaker with Texas because in a short 2-game series here at Bluebell Park, A&M swept the Longhorns 2-0 with the 3rd game being rained out. And that might be a part of this, Wyatt, that A&M and Texas, as it stands right now, will play 1 less conference game than everybody else due to that rain out.
Right, right. And that's any fan of college baseball, let alone those 2 fan bases. Every single one of them wanted that 3rd game to happen.
Yeah, I mean, everybody wanted to see that 3rd one. Yeah.
Olsen was packed all day through the rain.
I mean,
waiting for that game to happen.
Yeah.
Admissions opened up the gates at the end of the day, had free tickets if we were going to have that game.
Just couldn't get it in as long as they waited. Boston Kellner bounces out a chopper. Brandon McCrane making the play on the run.
Really like McCrane's actions over that shortstop. Super, super smooth over there. 2 young shortstops on display here that are doing a great job. McCrane, redshirt freshman, Boston Kellner, true freshman. Man in shortstop on 2 top 10 teams. You don't see that very often. It's impressive.
They both play it well. Gavin Grahovac to face LJ Cormier.
Gavin's really done a lot of damage on mistake breaking balls this weekend, and you're really seeing them shift the Auburn pitching staff to pounding him with some fastballs. It's funny I say that, and of course it's a breaking ball right after. Well, it's like we said earlier. We don't know what's going on in that Auburn dugout sometimes. I don't know why we try to say what we think about scouting reports.
Yeah, I got caught on it earlier, asking why do you shift Jake Dewar, and he hit it right where they had shifted to. So, hard cut on a 2-0. Grahovac 3 for 11 in the series. The 3 hits are all for extra bases. 2 home runs yesterday, the double earlier today.
Yeah, a little off balance here. See if he can refocus.
Looked a bit out in front at 81 miles per hour.
Cormier's got some deception in that breaking ball. A lot of Aggie hitters have struggled with that one today. I believe it was a little changeup he was using earlier. Right on right. Tied him Gavin up a little bit. 3-2 here though. Let's see if Gavin can pass the torch to Sorrell. Give him a chance to do some damage to the guy on with 2 outs. Smokes it.
Nice backhand by Brandon McCrane. Throws in the dirt, but a nice pick by Ethan Bingaman.
Big time pick. Smoked McCrane, made a great play. 110 off the bat by Gavin Grahovac. Strong dude. Just good baseball all around.
Aggies with a solo run in the first inning and then a 3-run homer by Chris Hakopian in the 6th. That's their 4 on the day. Auburn got on the board in the 7th inning. That's after A&M got brilliance from Weston Moss, who went 6 1/3. Only the 1 hit allowed. Moss had a no-hitter through 6 innings, and now the Aggies. They went to Ethan Darden first. Now they're on to Clayton Freshcorn. Freshcorn trying to go out and get his SEC leading 11th save of the year. Sailed pretty far the opposite way out toward well over the lawn in right field by Brandon McCrane.
Freshcorn, as advertised, absolutely pounding the strike zone. Really unique setup from Freshcorn.
And it's 1 out.
Freshcorn's got a really wiry frame, really low slot with some high vert. So with that and some extension, he really plays and really gets that fastball up on you. It's going to feel like that fastball is really rising to a hitter. So Auburn's got to really try to force that fastball low in the zone. And that's where they're going to do their damage. On the flip side, Freshcorn's going to try to dominate the top of the zone with that high ride fastball. Try to mix a really tight breaking ball with it.
So So across the board here in the top of the 8th, for A&M, it's 4 runs, 5 hits, and an error. For Auburn, it's a run, 2 hits, and no errors. Madrigal, opposite way, down the line, long run, but foul. Jake Dewar trying to get over there. Auburn's 2 hits were the double by Mason McCrane and the RBI single that brought in McCrane by Chris Rimbert. The double was off the starter Weston Moss. The single by Rimbert was off Ethan Darden. Madrigal made a bid for a base hit on a looping fly ball to center field, shallow center field, but coming in a hurry, Caden Sorrell on the dive made the catch to rob Madrigal. Outside, and it's 2-2.
Close.
We talked about how Auburn's going on the road next weekend to take on Mississippi State. Auburn right now is actually in the midst of what is an 8-game road swing. This is to center field. Pretty easy there on Caden Sorrell. This is the 3rd of 8 straight games on the road for Auburn, because on Tuesday they go to UAB up in Birmingham, then the Mississippi State series in Starkville, then on May 12th they're at Jacksonville State. So Tigers, a little bit of a road warrior look to them late in the season here.
And not an easy road trip either.
Yeah, you go to places like College Station and Starkville and you think it's easy to win in those spots. Not at all.
No, Auburn, regardless, there's still plenty of baseball left here to even this game up. But regardless, leaving with a series win coming into Sunday, Auburn's going to be feeling fantastic leaving this place. On the flip side, for your Aggies, you really need to salvage this one. Like we talked about earlier, sweeps are what kill you in SEC play. You're going to lose series. You're going to lose series at home. It's going to happen even with your home field advantage. You got to salvage that one, at least one game, and move on. I think credit to Auburn. I mean, coming into a hostile environment like College Station and sweeping a doubleheader, you know, one of the bigger sports weekends that A&M's seen in a while with softball, track, banana ball. Like, it's been a hectic weekend here, and they just come in here and sweep 2 games from a red-hot Aggie lineup.
That's hit well by Bristol Carter, but Caden Sorrell,
Super Sorrell,
he put the cape on again, and went airborne to rob the Tigers once more.
I thought he had no chance at catching this one. Boy, was I wrong. I mean, what a grab from Sorrell in center field here. Shift in a little bit more right center. Like you said, Will, puts on that cape.
I'll tell you who likes it. Clayton Freshcore. He's trying to get another save, and Caden Sorrell just saved him of a hit. told you Auburn's on the road at Duty Noble Field in Starkville next weekend. It's a series that starts on Thursday. You can see them all on the family of networks. ESPNU Thursday night, 8 Eastern. And then Friday and Saturday, SEC Network, 8:30 Eastern Friday. And then May 14th through 16th, that's also going to be Thursday through Saturday. The final weekend of regular season play, it's all Thursday through Saturday for everybody, May 14th through 16th. Georgia's going to get their shot at, or excuse me, Auburn's going to get their shot at Georgia. Georgia leading the league. And it's a bit of a healthy lead for the Bulldogs, first place in the SEC, so that might actually be where UGA is when Auburn takes them on to close the regular season.
I'd have to imagine that's probably where it will be. And like I said, Georgia's got LSU coming up, who's struggled a little bit.
Caden Sorrell going opposite field, and that's one hop in the wall. Swinging right away in the bottom of the 8th, and he's got a double.
What a last 10 minutes for this guy. Yeah. Incredible diving play in the gap, and goes right back to that gap with a double 2 minutes later. First pitch. This is one of those guys, when his confidence level's high, good luck getting this guy out. Such a pretty swing the other way, used the whole field. Cool little celly here. So I still don't really know what this one is, but they've been doing it for a while.
He's 4 for 12 in the series. Hit his 21st home run yesterday. And Sorrell now delivers his 14th double right there.
League leading extra base hits, just keeps climbing, don't it?
Yeah, keeps on going. All of this against a new Auburn pitcher in Ryan Hetzler. Sorrell just greeted him right away.
Might drop here.
Hakopian won't get it to land. Mason McCrane comes on to make the catch.
Good job by Hetzler getting right back in there, getting some weak contact. Limits Chris Hakopian from his RBI splurge he'd been on. And from getting Sorrell over. So Jake Dewart came up to empty on the last one, but like we talked about earlier, had an awesome at bat. See if he can build off that and get the Aggies another run. Ever since that instance with Gavin Grahovac in that jump, that early jump, they've been really taking a look at guys on second randomly. Auburn's been much more aware of these Aggie base runners. And that plays a role. I mean, that's in the back of the pitcher's head now. It's what you want. If that's what you want, if you're on the other side of the dugout, you know.
Yeah, we alluded to it at the time when Grahovac went to third base. Pretty well struck off the bat of Jake Dewar. He'll get Sorrell over to third base, but when Grahovac went to third back in the first inning, they didn't recognize it till he was past the halfway point.
Good swing by Jake Dewar there. I mean, like we said, he's building those good at-bats back to where he's normally at. That's 103 smoked right at the second baseman.
Here's what Mike Early and the Aggies have coming up in Oxford next weekend, and then the final series of the regular season will bring Mississippi State here to Bluebell Park.
These three series for the Aggies are as tough as a pitching matchup as they're going to get. I mean, Auburn's got arguably a top 2 pitching staff. Ole Miss got a great staff coming in. Mississippi State is arguably one of the most well-rounded teams in college baseball. It's going to be a tough finish for the Aggies. But days like today, you got to finish out and salvage a game and get ready for Tuesday.
Well, we always like to use the phrase this late in the year, something's going to ride on every pitch. And it is really starting to feel that way. Bear Harrison tried to go back up the middle, but on the run,
what
making the play, Chris Rembert.
Chris Rembert, what a play. Saves a run right there. Beautiful running grab.
He had Sorrell charging home from third base. It was going to be the 5th run of the game. But Rembert, the bounce throw to get Bear Harrison. A&M looking to close it out, salvage a game in this series. And the Aggies trying to stay on track for a top 8 national seed when Selection Sunday rolls around and they pick the field of 64 for the NCAA tournament. Top of the order for Auburn in the top of the 9th. Mason McCrane leads it off. He got their first hit of the game back in the 7th inning when he doubled. Check swing went around. Clayton Freshcorn has him down in the count. 0-2.
Yeah, that fastball is really going to sneak up on you like we highlighted earlier. Freshcorn's got a ton of extension, throws him a really low release point. That fastball is really going to get up on you. He's going to continue to challenge. Good spoil for McCrane there. Really like McCrane's setup at the plate. Open stance, smooth lefty swing at the top of the order. Great double earlier, smoked it, 112 off the bat.
Hit that hard past a diving Travis Chestnut. He's got 2 of the 3 Auburn hits today.
Jumps to 2 for 4 in the day. Smoked the last 2 with 2 strikes. Looks like Chestnut here, broke a belt here.
Yeah, he did. He's going to have to get that replaced. Also, quickly, A&M has made a defensive change here in the top of the 9th. They put Terrence Keel into the game in left field in place of Jake Dewar.
What a selfless moment right there from manager Luke Plow.
Exchange the new belt.
Selfless service right there. He's smiling, he heard me.
Hey, you do what you got to do.
Tell you what, those leather belts are not the most comfortable. Those old adjustable ones you wear when a kid are probably a little better. They tear you up sometimes, man.
Here's Eric Guevara. It's a tough part of the Auburn order. It's the top of the order. And McCrane singled. Mason McCrane did. And Eric Guevara at the plate. Fouled off the first pitch.
The Aggies have been able to keep him off base most of this weekend, but he's still been on the barrel like we've talked about, hitting balls over 95 left and right.
So now 2 strikes on Guevara.
See if Freshcorn can put him away here.
Fouled away right side.
If you're Auburn here, getting that leadoff man on with McCrane there, this is a great opportunity for you guys to chip away. You know, down 3. Got to move some guys around. Just got to get some guys on base for your guy Freilich. Gives you a good chance there.
Way out, just giving him nothing to hit on an 0-2 count.
Yeah, this is the guy. These two guys right here, if you're Auburn, these are the ones you want up. On the flip side, A&M's going to take these ones extra seriously. Guevara, been their hottest hitter coming in this weekend. Has hit the ball well this weekend, and Freilich behind him with 3 home runs.
Just missed. 2-2.
Biggest one was definitely down, Will, but real close. Aggie fans are going to want it, and Auburn's going to think that was never a strike. It's just one of those close ones. No one wins.
All depends on who you ask, right? That is over the head of Freshcorn, and there's going to be no play at first base. Well, Guevara has been swinging it pretty well, making good contact. He does not there, and that's what gets him a hit.
That's how it goes, Will. I mean, the guy's been hitting the ball all over yard, can't seem to find a hole, and chops one just over a leaping Freshcorn here. Here's a good look at his open stance. Hustles this one's out. Good decision from Kellner not to throw that one. I mean, nothing you can do if you're the Aggies there. It's just a tough break. Just baseball being baseball right there. But now you got to face a red-hot Freilich. 3 home runs on the weekend.
And 2 on and nobody out. Freilich swinging right away out toward Terrence Keel. That's a big out for Clayton Freshcorn.
Big out. Freshcorn goes right at him with his fastball, challenges early. 1 down for the Aggies, 2 more. Doesn't get any easier with Chris Rembert, like we highlighted, one of the top draft prospects. Already smoked a double earlier. Arguably your best bat to ball on the team.
He's got one of the Tigers' 4 hits in this game.
Aggies are playing pretty deep in the outfield, trying to keep everything in front of them.
Rembert's 3 for 12 in the series. Caught the corner, 1-1.
Yeah, the Aggies here, their goal really, I mean, you got 3 to work with. You don't obviously want to be run too thin on that, but Rembert's the important one here. You cannot let him get to second. That's why you're seeing this outfield group shifted pretty back. Everything's got to be kept in front. You got your most athletic defense out there right now, with your best pitcher on the mound.
Freshcorn tried a breaking ball and missed upstairs. That's why that outfield played deep. Auburn will just go station to station. Now they'll get the run home. Breaking late for home was Mason McCrane, but he will score. He was intent on stopping at third base, and late ran on home. He gets there. It's 4-2. Aggies lead. First and second with 1 out here in the top of the 9th now.
Really good piece of hitting from Rembert here. I mean, as advertised, like we said earlier, just uses the whole field. Barrels went up here. I'm not really sure what happened with the base running here from Auburn. I mean, I thought McCrane would be scoring pretty easily, and I get why Guevara was held up at second. You cannot run into a second out here. But still, station to station, and Auburn's putting up a fight to try to get back in this game. Not making it easy for the Aggies at all.
Ethan Bingaman at the plate. Tying run on first base.
I'll tell you what, the Aggies have turned some pretty impressive double plays this weekend. This would be a big-time moment to get one right here.
As faithful here at Bluebell Park would love to see it. Tigers looking to bring Rimbert at first base all the way around. Guevara at second. That's up the middle. That's a base hit. Station to station here. They'll be loaded.
Yeah, that's a good call from Coach Nonamaker over there at third base. You cannot run into a second out there. But boy, have the Auburn Tigers made it interesting right now. Wonder if they're going to have a brief conversation here with Freshcorn. Just kind of slow some things down. He's still the guy you want out there. This is your best guy in this moment. One of the best closers in the SEC.
Jason Kelly, the Aggie pitching coach, will make a visit. So loaded with Tigers, top of the ninth. A&M leading 4-2. Tying run on second base. Run that would give the Tigers the lead is Bingaman on first base. Runners are Guevara at third, Rimbert at second, Bingaman at first.
Yeah, good move by Jason Kellett here. Just settling him down. Freshcorn's got all the stuff and all the belief to get out of this. Just refocus everyone. Hope to get out of this inning. Get the Aggies a win. On the flip side, like we talked about, Auburn not going away easy. Had their best guys up when they needed them. And they're in striking distance to tie this thing up in the ninth.
It'll be Bub Terrell coming to the plate to face Clayton Freshcorn. Terrell faced Freshcorn back in the 7th inning, struck out looking.
Good pitch there, just missed. Little cutter right there. I like the Aggies shift right now. Really just shading the middle of the field.
Back up the middle, it hit Freshcorn, and they'll get nobody out. 4-3, and the tying run goes to third base. The go-ahead run moves to second base.
Wow. I mean, like we just talked about right there, I thought we had a good shift on there for the Aggies. Ball looks like it's going to be right at Kellner for a potential double play. Just so unlucky there. Feels like Auburn's been hitting the ball hard recently and not getting anything to show for it, and it seems like all that bad luck's coming through right now. Still a good piece of hitting by Bub there. Hits the ball hard in the middle of the field. Good things usually do happen. So, boy, have things got interesting here, Will.
Yeah, Auburn a chance to tie or even take the lead with Brandon McCrane at the plate.
Right there, though, that's what I love about Clayton Freshcorn. Unscathed, just took a ball off the back. Things aren't going the way he wants. Just gets right back in there and pumps a 94-mile-an-hour fastball right down the middle. The Aggies are still a double play away from winning this game.
Auburn trying to sweep. A&M looking for a salvage, and it's coming down to the 9th inning.
What a Sunday ball game we got here, Will. Big time pitch.
Yeah, it might have been a tip foul, but right back into the mitt of Bear Harrison. So the count is 1-2.
Good cutter there from Freshcorn. That low slot with that cutter, it's going to hold the plane well. Going to feel like it's almost going up and away from the right-handed batter. Great pitch. See if he can put him away right here.
McCrane stayed alive.
Almost gave Shot some chin music up here right there with that
we got
foul ball.
the radio booth for A&M right next to us. Rimbert at third, Bingaman at second, Terrell at first for Auburn. 1-2, Freshcorn to Brandon McCrane. That is going to be tough down the line and right, and it just did land foul. I mean, oh, so close to the line, but landed foul in front of Jorian Wilson.
I don't know if everyone at home can hear all the oohs that just went out when that thing was about 2 inches foul. Look at this. Oh my goodness, that was close. There's about a foot piece of grass right there that hit between the foul line and the dirt on the track. Man, what a Sunday game right now we got here, Will.
So
Auburn
here we
stays
go,
in
another
it.
1-2. Fresh corn to Brandon McCrane. Chopped chestnut. Can the Aggies turn two to end
Wow.
it? 4-6-3, and the Aggies will get a game this weekend.
What a double play. What a ninth inning. Freshcorn gets it done. Beautiful double play for the Aggies. They've turned some pretty awesome ones this weekend, but that's the one that's going to be the highlight of the weekend right there.
From Chestnut to Kellner to Bender up, they got the ground ball to the middle of the infield at exactly the right time. We'll take another look at it, Wyatt. Chestnut, nice feed. Kellner, good hard throw over to Bender up. And maybe both teams leave happy. A&M salvages, they've got to be pleased with that. Auburn's going to fly home to the Plains with a road series win and a huge one. They've got to feel pretty good about that too.
Man, you got to love that reaction from Clayton Freshcorn. Stays in there and gets it done for the Aggies. Maybe a little more stress than the Aggies wanted in the ninth inning, but all I see is a W at the end of the day for those guys. And like you said, I think both teams can go home a little happy in some way. It's a top 10 matchup. We all knew it was going to be an awesome series, and I think Sunday was a great representation of that.
Yep. Came down to the end, and the Aggies turn a huge double play to hang on. A&M 4-3. They win it over Auburn on this Sunday. They salvage a game. Auburn wins the series. Our producer was Cogan Davis. Our director was Cooper Cherry. Thanks to the staff at 12th Man Productions on the A&M campus for bringing you this one on the SEC Network. For Wyatt Hensler, I'm Will Johnson saying so long from College Station on this Sunday.